One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
I am Iron Man.
I'm Pickle Rick!
I have a dream.
I am your father.
I'm Sean Spencer. This is my partner, Gus Silly Pants Jackson.
I'm going to show you how great I am.
God bless America.
Avengers!
Assemble.
That's life. That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life.
What is the name of that song? It's probably like "We Are Coming to America."
Yeah, we come to America. It's
No,
probably in that line.
something like that. What's the name of that song?
I'm not.
Bro, I heard that song walking through Kroger, and I instantly, I almost enlisted right there. I was getting eggs, and I was like, "Sign me up! If there was a
I'll
booth,
be
I'm
there."
gone." Something to. I'm gonna look it up.
That's hilarious. What a song to be playing in Kroger. I wonder who was in charge of that playlist. Like,
Well, those corporate playlists. I know why people that work retail kill themselves. Those corporate playlists are terrible.
no, that's
I
why
worked at Lowe's for 5-6 months during
Yeah.
COVID, and we listened to the same 17
Oh,
songs.
absolutely not.
And in the mornings, the best is when I worked the morning shift. So I was MST, so I basically was a contract builder for Lowe's, and I
Yeah.
built displays and all that crap, right?
Ooh.
But they had that's not fancy, trust me. But in the mornings, his name was Jeffro. Dude, when I say the ghettoest white man I've ever met in my life, just a hillbilly, but he was awesome.
Yeah.
He was the nicest guy, would give you the shirt off his back, but would also stab you if you crossed him.
Yeah.
But Jeffro goes, "I'm tired of this mother," he just
Yeah.
every morning was carrying on. He's 60 working at Lowe's,
Yeah.
so he's just angry. And he goes, "I'm tired of these mother, I'm gonna go." And so he went to the corporate, or went to the office where you can mess with it. And he
Yeah.
plugged in his phone.
Oh my
It was
goodness.
awesome. It was just it was Screamo and
I was
Led
about to say,
Zeppelin at
was it? Yeah.
4:15.
No, that's why you got to be a girl. Because then you can wear your hair down and cover up like AirPods and get away with it. Guys can't do that.
Does this sound like it's right?
Yeah, we just got to get to like the chorus part.
On the plains, they're coming to America. Back again. They're coming to America. Speaking of America, we just came from America, from a part of America that's located in the United of America. Yeah, welcome back from vacation.
It's felt well because I wasn't here the episode before we left, so it
Well, I
feels
mean, you were
like
here,
I was
but-
here. I just wasn't recording, so it feels like I've been gone forever.
We have been gone.
We
for
have been
a
gone
while.
for forever. Yeah,
The best thing we've ever done. So we got married going on 2 years, right?
Yeah, it'll be 2 years in December.
We both had started at the time brand new jobs.
Yeah.
The
week
we got
yeah.
married.
Mhm.
Maybe I had started a job a couple weeks before.
Yeah.
Regardless, we basically had the option: do we go to Destin, Florida for 5 days,
Exactly. Yeah.
or do we plan like a big vacation?
Yeah.
And so we waited and we saved and we planned and.
Worked our butts off.
Yeah, we worked a lot of long hours and sacrificed a lot of pleasantries and date nights, but we saved up and this year we went saved up and we went to Oregon. And when I tell people when you go to Oregon, they're like, "What are you here for?" They go, "Our honeymoon." They're like, "Why the fudge are you in Oregon for
Why
your
did
honeymoon?"
you pick Oregon?
But no, so we went to Oregon and we were gone 10 days and we stack it up so I saved my PTO and I waited for Labor Day weekend.
Which
So that it's stacked up perfectly. There's a football game. It's 2 weeks into the season. So typically you're supposed to have teams that you kill.
Yeah.
We got to see a 3 seconds left on the clock, last minute kick for Oregon to win. But nonetheless, we saved up. We flew out on a Sunday and didn't get back till that Monday or whatever it was, Monday.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were gone like 9 days on vacation.
Oh, it was wonderful.
It was amazing.
Yeah. Which that vacation, well,
excuse me.
We broke it up into 2 parts. The first part we were on the coast, which is actually a vacation that I've had on my bucket list since high school. Like I've always wanted to visit.
To be fair,
I don't side of the coast.
I don't think I was going to be able to get away with, hey, do you want to go to Oregon and see a football game for our honeymoon?
Yeah.
Like she's sending me places in Aruba and Italy and all these amazing places. And I was like, listen, we can afford to go there. We've saved enough. But how about Eugene, Oregon? You ever heard of good old Eugene?
Yeah. I mean, I loved it.
But so I said, here's the compromise. I said, we'll go to the coast, which if you've never been to the coast, it's just breathtakingly beautiful. It's just mountains and ice cold water.
Frigid water. Lots of jellyfish. So many jellyfish.
Well, jellyfish, sea lions, seals.
Yeah.
Because all the creatures are
they're getting ready to
migrate.
head out. Yeah.
I almost said I literally was thinking, I was almost said hibernate. But they're not going to hibernate. They're migrating. But so I said, here's a compromise. We'll go to the coast.
Yeah.
For 5-6 days, and then
and then go to
then
Eugene.
we get to go to a game in Eugene. I get to see Oregon for the first time in person.
I don't know why it was so surprising to everybody up there that I wanted to go to the football game. Like everyone that we talked to,
every
like
guy's
ran
like,
into.
you got to keep her, and I'm like, she likes sports.
Yeah, I
Also,
never
we've been
thought
on
I
the-
would say that 3 years ago. I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, but Oregon's it's just a different breed of.
It is.
It's a cult.
Yeah,
I'm in a cult.
As someone who went to Eugene, Oregon, holy crap,
It's a cult.
It is a cult.
There's nothing up there. You have the Portland Trailblazers, who are dog water.
Yeah.
So everybody's a Ducks fan.
Yeah.
There's not many Oregon State fans that are outside of Corvallis. So it's like everybody's a Duck fan. Every business has a Ducks thing on it. Every sandwich shop has a Puddles the mascot sandwich. Every Kohl's, everything has a Ducks something.
Yeah. And then Dan Lanning's his face is plastered on
Yeah,
every billboard,
the head coach,
every poster.
The head coach of the football team is literally on every billboard. And, Puddles the mascot is on every business's
window.
flyer or window. Or it really is a cult. And it was pretty remarkable. But, so yeah, we went to Eugene, Oregon. So we flew out on a Sunday. I hate flying, but yeah, we flew out on a Sunday. We get on this big Boeing 400 seat or whatever it is, huge plane. And we land in Salt Lake, and then we're supposed to go to Salt Lake, and we were flying straight into Eugene, which if you've never been to Eugene before, all 500 of us all 500 people that live there. Yeah. It's very small.
It's literally like the college, and then
it's the college
farms on the outside.
Yeah, it's the college, and then it's hiking trails, and it's farms all surrounding it. That's it.
Yeah.
There's a city or a town for the college kids where there's restaurants and the car dealerships, the Rolex shops, for the athletes. But other than that, there's nothing. there. But we didn't know. So I had assumed. I just, I didn't know. Yeah. We get off this big 300-seater, beautiful flight. It was, we land in Salt Lake. It was nice and calm. And we walk over, you're in Terminal 7 for your flight to Eugene. I go, awesome, man. So I walk by, and what looked like a toy was on the runway. And I go, man, look at that small-ass plane. And there's no way we're on that one.
Nope.
So we keep walking back and forth. And then they go, now boarding, flight 245 to Eugene, Oregon. And I look over.
And sure enough.
That's the plane I'm on. Now, let me, we'll talk about the other story in a minute, but I am claustrophobic. Deathly claustrophobic.
Yes.
I can't be, if I'm in a crowded room, I'll leave the room.
Yes.
If it's a crowded elevator, I'm taking the stairs.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, if it was, no, I'm not going to make that joke, but.
Okay.
I was going to say if it was, what? You don't even know what I was going to say.
Sure, okay, keep going.
No, you don't even know what I was going to say.
Say it.
Okay, I was going to say, if it was 9/11
Yeah,
and I was on the 110th floor and they go, safety is right through this elevator. If too many people are on it, I'm jumping.
I knew
that's all I'm
where
saying.
you
I'm
were
jumping.
going.
No,
But the plane was quite.
it was a shoebox
Literally.
with wings.
Yes, because the bigger plane that we were on, it's your standard 40 plus rows.
Well,
Every
it's a
row has
Boeing.
three-
It's a Boeing. It seats
yeah.
like 380
Yeah.
or whatever.
And then the plane that we got onto, I was like, we're in row like 13. I was like, that's perfect. That's like kind of around the
Middle of the plane.
halfway. That's where I
that
want
was
to
the
be.
back of the plane.
It was.
I was
us
touching the
in the
bathroom
bathroom.
wall.
It was literally the bathroom was right behind us.
Also, Delta blows. I hate Delta. Dude, Delta's the worst. I will fly Southwest the
Yes.
rest of I'll fly Spirit before I fly Delta
Absolutely
again.
not.
Delta, no, Spirit planes are literally falling
Spirit
out
planes
of
are
the sky.
falling out of the
They're
sky.
literally falling out of the sky.
Literally.
But they're falling out of the sky for a cheap price of $49.99.
Very true.
Do you want to get to Baltimore in a terrifying flight? Spirit's got you covered.
Yep.
Also, Spirit does fly to all the areas no one wants to go to. It's
Yeah.
like, do you want to go to Memphis? It's like, not really.
No, not
Spirit's
really.
like, how about for $12? It's like,
For
I
that
guess,
price.
I guess we'll go visit Memphis.
Oh my gosh.
So no, we literally, it's a 65, 70 seater plane.
Max, yeah.
It's in it, it's basically a private jet, but not private.
Yeah.
First class was just single seats
Yeah, along the wall.
along the wall in the front. No
Yeah.
curtain or anything.
No.
So we get on that thing. Now, thankfully, the flight there, the flight there was awesome. I don't know if
Yeah.
it was the adrenaline of us.
I
We
think
didn't even notice it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't freak out on the flight
Mm-mm.
there. Like, it was great. We landed in
No.
Eugene. We went straight to the campus. Of course, like we
It was
literally
incredible.
we get off the airplane, right, and land in the airport.
Yeah.
In the airport, literally, it's a green building. It
Yep.
looks like a rec center.
Yeah.
It's just a green building, and then you see like some asphalt.
Yep.
And I go, oh, hey, we're landing in someone's backyard. Oh my goodness, this must be an emergency landing. And then the pilot gets on the intercom, which he could have just gone, hey, by
guys."
the way, we're landing in Eugene. But instead, he
He's
gets on.
gotta
He's
feel
like,
all official.
I'd like to welcome everybody to Eugene, Oregon, where the weather is 75 degrees. And I'm like, oh, we're landing here. Oh, okay. It's basically a cornfield.
Yep.
There's a building and a runway.
Yep.
So we land. We get off the airplane, and I almost was stupid enough to be like, I wonder where we should go for baggage claim. But there's only one
There's
hallway.
only one.
No,
one
there's only
place.
one. There's only one hallway that
Yeah.
leads out of this terminal,
Yeah.
and it just empties into like a cafeteria. And then the security guard is just a guy named Doug,
Yeah.
with a taser. And then there's the front doors, and then I walk up to somebody, and I walk up to where we're getting our car rental, and it's one guy
This
working all
one
5
guy,
car
yeah.
rentals. And I go, hey man, like, I'm looking for the baggage claim. He goes, the baggage claim is right there. And it was just, it was a baggage claim for the 4 terminals
Yeah.
that they had. They had terminal A, B,
Yeah.
C, and D.
Literally. And they're all just right next to each other.
Now the small ass plane is making so
Yeah.
much sense in my head.
Yeah.
And
it
I
all
didn't
kind of
even
clicked.
I never thought about even looking at it. I'm like,
No.
Eugene's got to be pretty decent size. No,
You would
it's
think,
not.
Nope. Not at all.
It's not at all.
And the baggage claim, to even say it was a baggage claim, I feel like would be a stretch. Because it was
It was
literally
a window.
some guy chucking luggage through a window. Like, you kind of just stood there and waited for your luggage to come flying at your face.
It'd be like it literally reminded me of those TV scenes where like the wife catches the husband cheating and she's chucking his
chucking
clothes
his
out
stuff
of a
out the
window.
window.
That's what it was.
That's literally what it was.
I go, where's my suitcase? And I watched it just tumble
Yeah,
across
so
the
glad
floor.
we got new luggage for this trip.
Yeah, so we go to the baggage claim, and
Yeah.
then I go, all right, let's go to the car rental. And I could have just taken any car. I don't think this dude gave a flying crap.
No.
It was a 17-year-old kid,
Literally.
and I
yeah.
he goes, where's your rental? And I go, here's my ID. Great, awesome,
Yeah.
everything's paid for. And so we go out to the parking lot, and there's 7 rental cars. That's all
Literally.
that's there.
Yep.
It's just 7 cars.
7 cars.
And you walk out. I was like, oh, I wonder which car's ours, because it's also in the just standard parking lot.
Yeah,
There's
it's
not
like-
a designated
no.
area for these cars to go.
No.
It's just in the general parking lot. So I could have had, if another Nissan Rogue was in the area, I probably would have gotten into a stranger's car and driven off and not even known it.
No.
So
He goes, it should be somewhere maybe within the first 2 rows of the parking lot.
Yeah, he goes,
Like,
I don't know.
thank you.
His exact words were, I don't know, it's somewhere in the first 2 rows. I think the windows are down. I go, oh, well, thank you. It's been raining all day, so I hope that the windows have been down.
were down.
So, no, we got our car. We're in Eugene. We drove straight to the campus, of course.
Mhm.
The nice part is kids aren't back to school yet
Yeah.
in Oregon.
Which I
So
didn't
they-
realize because that's late for kids not to be back in school.
Yeah, those coastal schools, a lot of them don't go back until later. So like
Yeah.
Oregon wasn't, the university wasn't back in school yet. So it was super nice being able to get to the campus because it wasn't
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of kids.
No.
It was dead. So we got there. We went straight to the track stadium, and all of
Yep.
it's of course heavily locked up. We start walking around, and the gates unlocked for the softball field. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'm going to the softball field. So I was just walking. I acted like I was a teacher there.
Yeah.
I walked on every field that I could find, walked into random buildings.
Which paid off.
Yeah, because while we were walking around, I was like, all right, let's go see the Matthew Knight Arena. I want to go see the basketball arena.
Yeah.
There's a big bronze puddles out front,
Yeah.
which if you follow me on like my personal Instagram, I'm sure you've seen all these pictures. But
yeah. And I'll pop them up on here
yeah,
too.
throw them up on the screen. But yeah, so I was like, I want to go see that bronze puddles. And while we're walking by, we hear all these whistles, and I see all these people, and I walk up. I'm like, hey man, what's going on? And they're like, oh, there's a volleyball game going on.
Yeah.
Go on in. And that was the cool part
literally,
too,
just
is
walk in.
because students weren't back.
Yeah.
They weren't strict on, we need people to pay. They didn't really give a flying crap.
No.
There was probably 300
professors and their
people in
kids.
there's 300 people in the arena. It was just the kids' parents,
Yeah.
basically. That's all it was,
Yeah.
which was really cool. So it was basically us and the family members. We got to go see a volleyball game for a little
Yeah.
bit. And then I was like, all right, well, that was amazing. Off my bucket list as a longtime volleyball coach.
Yeah.
I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah. Well, because we had wanted to originally when we planned the trip, we wanted to go to a volleyball game, but we didn't think our plane would get in time, and so we didn't buy the tickets. Or I can't remember if it was a different location. Something had happened where we just thought about
No,
it and then
flight
never.
the flight would have been, in order to make it in time for the volleyball game, we would have had to have left at like 5 a.m. We were already leaving at 6:45.
Yeah.
So we would have had to have been there at 3 a.m. And
Yeah,
I didn't
no.
think we were going to have the energy or the time or want to do that.
Yeah.
And so that's why we took the later flight. And we would be getting to the airport and having to drive straight to the volleyball game. And that's if we could make it. And so
Yeah.
we were just like, I don't know if we're going to be able to make it in time or if it's even worth it.
Yeah. And then we stumbled in for the last set, I want to say.
Yeah, but no, we got to watch. We got to watch a volleyball game, and then I was like, all right, we got to go to the football stadium.
Yeah.
Got to go to the football stadium.
Yeah.
Bucket list. I've never even seen it.
Yeah.
So we drove straight to the football stadium, and I see a bunch of people in the parking lot, and I see a screen live, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what the frick is going on? Is there practice?
Yeah,
No,
because it was,
there was a soccer game going on, and
Yeah.
I don't give a flying crap about
I
soccer,
think soccer's so boring.
but I went and watched the Oregon Ducks soccer team, which was awesome.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
another
I'm just
thing that they literally they're like, if you want to, just walk in. We
well,
don't care.
if you use the thing, I was like, we're on our honeymoon. We just
Yeah.
flew in from Nashville. I've never been here. If you lead with that, people are super cool.
Yeah. Well, because they're Ducks fans, and this is something we've encountered across the country when we've ran into them in multiple different places. Like, the Ducks community are just the most genuine, like, sweetest people. I remember we were at the vet with his dog, and there was a Ducks fan,
Yeah,
and they
good
had
old
a
Charles.
whole conversation.
People,
like,
dude, if you're wearing Ducks gear, people, hey, go Ducks, man. Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people are awesome. Ducks
Yeah.
fans are genuinely. I did a ranking several years ago on my sports podcast. Ducks fans, genuinely non-biased, are top 5 nicest fans out there.
Yeah.
Like, we're not talking trash to the other
No.
team or cussing the other team out. For
Mm-mm.
the most part, Ducks fans are the nicest people.
yeah.
And so, we're like, hey, it's our honeymoon. They're like, go in, watch the game. We don't care.
Yeah,
So
we
we got
don't
to watch
care.
the soccer game. Then we just walked around the football stadium, and I see, just because I'm such a degenerate, I see the Oregon strength and conditioning coach. Now I know what you're thinking. Nobody knows who the strength and conditioning coach is for their team, even big fans. I do. I'm a sociopath.
He knows what every coach looks like.
And so I'm like, that's the strength coach. She's like, no, it's not.
I
I
was
go,
like-
I promise
I was
you,
like,
that's.
this is literally just a random dude.
I was like, I promise you, that's the strength coach. And so I'm watching the strength coach yell at somebody, and I'm like, what the frick is going? He's yelling at
He
somebody.
was going after this kid.
And so we bump around the corner, and as our star tight end, Terrence Ferguson, which was pretty cool.
And he was, again,
He's super nice guy.
Super nice guy.
We were blessed the whole trip. It was like we ran into players all over the place because no one's
I was
back
about to
yet.
say, no one's back.
So
they
the
don't have to
community
worry
is very
about it.
calm and chill, and which just makes it so much more cool and a unique experience.
Yeah.
Because all these players are just chill.
Yeah.
You know, hey man, what's up? Now I wasn't gonna be the weird guy like, can I get a picture with you? Because I'm 28. These 17 and
That's what I
19-year-olds
always
is like, no, it's
forget
weird.
Like, when you're watching them on TV, it's just football. But when you see them, you're like, oh, this is
It's a
literally
kid.
a child.
Yeah.
Like, this is, I'm yelling at the screen at a child.
It's my favorite. One of my favorite memes of all time was the one where it's like, going to work on Monday in a terrible mood because the 17-year-old didn't catch the ball to win the game on Saturday, something
Literally,
like that.
yeah.
And so literally, it's like they're kids. So I didn't
Yes.
want to bother them.
Yeah.
But it was super cool. Like guys will understand. It's so dope just being around these dudes and seeing all of it. So
My favorite part of, like, when we were in Eugene was just watching experiencing you experience it, if that makes sense. It's like when you have a kid and you're like, oh, I get to experience Christmas.
it's probably a pretty
It literally was.
pretty
It
accurate
literally was.
description. Like when you have a child that gets excited about seeing ducks gear in a window or seeing comic books and stuff, like it is.
Yeah.
I am like taking a 14-year-old boy onto a trip.
Well, because this is something that you've dreamt about since you were 7. So it's literally like a childhood dream coming to, like, fruition. So, like, I just loved that.
Oh,
Because you're getting excited about everything. You're just walking around with your jaw on the floor the entire time.
Dude, it's nuts. I literally been watching half of this crap on TV, and then you're there in person. I was telling people, I said, after coming back from the trip, I said, yes, go.
Mhm.
Go on whatever that dream vacation is,
Yeah.
because it's such a cool thing to be like, something I've always dreamt about from the comfort of my own home, I got to do.
Yeah. And we're at the point, like, we're at a point in our lives where we can. Like, we don't have kids. We have the ability to be like, hey, we're going to leave, turn off our
we're
phones
gonna work
for a
really,
week.
really hard.
Yeah.
And we busted our tail, and it was miserable in the
Yeah.
moment. But
I would
we
do
were
it all
able
over
to
again.
go on vacation, shut
Yeah.
our phones off, and enjoy, an amazing trip. But so we went. We, of course, went to Eugene and hung out there for a couple days, and then we went to the beach, and then we came back to Eugene.
Yeah.
So then we went to Florence, went to the coast, which the
Oh.
coast was it's just there's truly the beauty of it. The no pollution, I guess, is the
Mhm.
best way to put it.
Yeah.
When you see just the purity of an uncontaminated area, it's like the photos I posted on my personal Instagram.
Yeah.
I was like, this is no filter. This is
Mhm.
100%. We got up every morning and got coffee at Cassie's Coffee, like just
I loved her.
a ma and pa
Yeah.
coffee shop that was the size of this desk.
Literally, yeah.
And she goes, what do you want? I'll make whatever you want. We hand make our bagels and cook them. So, and we would get up every morning bright and early. Oddly enough, I was up earlier on my vacation
Well,
than
and
I
I
would be
think
at
it was
home.
the time change, because what is it? You lose 2 hours?
No, it's 2 hours earlier.
Hours earlier.
It's
Yeah.
2 hours earlier.
Yeah. So, like, if it was
So
like
if it was 8 o'clock here, it was
it's
6
6
a.m. there.
Yeah. So I think that's part of it too. Is like we were getting up at
I'm used to getting up at,
like 5 or 6.
so you're up in the morning anyway.
Yeah.
So we would just get up and we were ready to go. We'd go get a cup of coffee, go walk the beach, and
It was amazing when no one was there and it was like quiet and peaceful and the fog. I loved watching the fog in the mornings on the beach.
so yeah, we did all the beach stuff. We saw all the sea life. We went and hit a bunch of the coastal towns, which was really cool. We saw sea lions and seals, like all in their natural just habitat, which was awesome.
That was mind blowing.
Went to an Indian casino.
Yeah, we did go to a casino.
Dude,
too.
first off, so I took Hannah to a casino, right?
This is my first time.
This is a hilarious story. And people are going to be like, no way. But whatever.
I would
So I-
also be no way if I wasn't there to experience it.
So I told Hannah, I was like, hey, there's nothing to do.
No.
But that's how we wanted it, honestly. going with no agenda and not going to a place where it's like, oh God, dude, we have to, we have to go wait in line for the Dumbo ride. It's like, no. There was nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I
We
mean?
had
You're
no
going
agenda.
into a literal town on the coast. The only thing that this town survives on is fishing
Literally.
for crab and
Yeah.
shrimp and crap like that.
Yeah.
That's all they do. Everybody in the town just fishes. Other than that, it's a small town with awesome just mom and pop stores. But we went with no agenda. We got an Airbnb on the beach. And so one of the nights I was like, man, we got nothing to do. Like we had brought $180, $176 to be more precise.
Yeah.
We brought $176 in cash. Well, in Oregon, cash is basically
it's cashless.
it's illegal.
Yeah.
Cash is you actually get burned or you get put in the stock holds if you go, can I pay? Here's a $20 bill.
Yeah.
People look at you like, oh, what's the $20 bill?
Which makes sense if you think about it and like the people that are.
No, it doesn't make sense. No, it makes no sense. A $20 bill is a $20 bill. It's recognized all over the country, except for Oregon, where apparently it's illegal. I go, here's my $20. Who's on the $20 bill?
I have no idea.
I almost said Washington, but it's definitely not.
No.
Is
I
it
don't
Lincoln?
know. I don't know. You have the Google this time. I didn't have my computer.
Who
But-
the crap's on the $20 bill?
I have no clue.
I always just want to say James Madison because I don't actually know.
Thomas Jefferson's coming. Yeah, I have no idea. But yeah, everywhere you go, they refuse cash. So we had this random cash that we've just been.
Fudge is Google. Can't figure it out. Oh, here it is. I'm an idiot.
We had all this cash that we've been carrying around, and we couldn't do anything with it. And we knew that, like, in the stadium, especially, like, you won't be able to use cash.
Well, yeah, we knew in the stadium, but
Yeah.
I figured if I went to Arby's in Oregon, I could use freaking cash.
Nope.
Hang on. The United States dollar bill, 20 denomination of the U.S. I don't give a flying crap. Who's the president? Andrew Jackson. Why the
Why
frick
is
Andrew Jackson
Jackson
on a $20
there?
bill?
I feel
I
like
felt like I honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I had that would have if you said
if you
said, hey, you have 6 guesses to figure
that
out
wouldn't
who's
have been
on the
in my
20,
top 12.
I would have been Washington, Lincoln, Adams, Jefferson,
Yeah.
or Monroe, or I don't friggin' know.
Bro.
Andrew Jackson wouldn't have been my first thought on,
no.
I would have said Alexander Hamilton just
We need
because
to-
of the play. Like,
Yeah. We need to redo that $20 bill. Pick somebody new.
just put Trump on there.
Oh gosh.
Why not?
I feel like Trump would be a $100 bill. I feel like he wouldn't settle for anything less.
I don't know who's on the $100 bill.
Ben Franklin.
Oh, that's right.
That's
it's Ben
why they
Franklin. I
call
know
it-
that one.
yeah.
Okay. Oh shit.
Ah, darn.
Not
But-
crap.
Anyway.
So no, I go, hey, what do you want to do tonight? And she's like, oh no, we didn't have an agenda, which was like I said,
was,
once again, amazing.
Yeah.
And I go, man, let's get dressed up. There's an Indian casino. And when I say Indian
Like a
casino, I
legitimate-
don't mean like they're gonna help your computer run fast.
No.
I mean like legit,
Like tribal
which of course
chief.
it's like tribal
Yeah.
Indian. I forget what was the Wakasaka
I can't.
Waka
I'm not even
Flocka,
gonna try to pronounce
Waka
it because
Flocka
it was.
Flame.
It was.
Who was the
It started with an S because that was like the river that
Sewanee?
something like that.
Sequoia. It was Sequoia. It was something weird like that. I don't
yeah. I can't pronounce it. I'm not even gonna try.
know. The Waka Flocka Flame tribe was up there, and the Waka Flocka Flame tribe. I'm gonna disrespect an entire race. I'm just joking. by
Don't
the
do
way.
that. 'Cause
But the Waka Flocka Flame, Waka Flocka, black and yellow. You know what it is. No, so Waka Flocka opened up. There's an Indian casino.
Yeah.
And it was gorgeous, by the way. Huge resort with an
stunning.
Indian casino. Super
Yeah.
cool. And so I was like, hey, let's drive into, let's go to Waka Flocka's house and like go play the slots. I go, you had never been.
I've never
We had nothing to do. I
been.
said, hey,
That's-
let's get dressed up and go to the casino. Why not?
Yeah.
Some people think it's against the God or whatever. I'm not here to argue that.
No, we were just
It's a good time.
having fun.
Yeah.
We literally go, this is how much we're gonna spend. We have this much.
We had
cash.
$176, and I
we were
go,
just like, why
let's just
not?
go piddle around. It takes up a few hours. So we go.
Yeah.
We get there. She's like, what the crap? There's just
I was
chain smokers
instantly
and,
overstimulated.
and people, hitting buttons and
lights, noises. Yeah.
It's just people yelling. It's loud. It's chaotic. If you've
Yeah.
ever been to a casino, it's a sight to behold.
Mm-hmm.
Only America's finest are sitting in casinos
Oh, yeah.
at 3:50 on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday, which is
You
when
know,
we went.
we have an excuse. We're on vacation. These people are like, I got to make a house payment.
Yeah, that was a little like that was kind of
Yeah.
sad.
It's kind of,
But anyway,
so we go, we're betting, and I showed her blackjack. So we're doing blackjack, and then halfway through, if you've been, you know how it goes. It goes from $5 bets to a table flips to a $10 table with a new dealer.
yeah.
I was like, bruh, we'll eat this real quick because we're
Yeah.
playing, and Hannah wins a couple hands.
Yeah.
I win none. Like
Mhm.
literally, I lost my 2 hands. I was like, I'm out. Let Hannah play for a little bit. She plays, wins probably 2 hands, and so then we're going to like different slots and
yeah.
let's put $10 on red, or let's play. I didn't want to play poker or anything, so I was
No.
like, look, we were playing roulette. We were just playing craps. We were just doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
We're down to like $80, and I was like, let's just go play like $25 slot or 25-cent slots
Yeah.
or whatever. So we're playing just like $25 slots, no big deal, and we get down to $40,
Mhm.
and
Very quickly, might I add.
oh yeah, probably
Like,
within an hour.
Within an
hour and a half,
we
They're down to
we had wasted all
$170,
of it.
but that is really not a lot.
It's
to
not
go
a
to
lot of
casino.
money to
Most
go.
people take out 500 or 1,000. That'll last you probably 2-3 hours. But
yeah.
I was like, okay, well, this has been fun. We've been there about an hour and a half, and I go. We walk into this unmarked room. I have a $20 bill. She has a $20
Yeah.
bill. So I go, oh, let's pick out one more slot. And there's this unmarked room, and there's slots in the back room. And so I go, all right, let's just go back here.
Yeah, this one
No
looks
one
fun.
was back there, so I was like,
No.
oh, it's peaceful.
Yeah.
And so I sit down. I put $20 in, or you put, I put $20 into my machine.
Yeah.
And it was a $5 slot. So I hit a
Mhm.
5. I basically broke even, so I cashed out my $20.
Yeah.
I go, all right, well, I'm just gonna save this $20 for another game, or let's just
Yeah.
leave. She puts in $20. First spin, $500 hits.
Yeah.
So we didn't know.
Which
but
I didn't know
did-
I didn't know what I was doing, and I forgot about this until I was talking to Mom. Remember how that slot machine like broke for a second when I put my money in?
Oh yeah, so you
It
put.
like glitched out, and I had to call somebody to come fix it.
She puts the $20 in, and the machine craps out, goes black,
Yeah.
doesn't work.
The screen
They
goes
finally
blank. Nothing
about
happens.
after 5-10 minutes, it finally comes back up,
Yeah.
and the lady's like, "Is it good?" I go, "I don't know. Let's just make a
No.
bet." So she makes a bet, but it was unclear. We didn't realize what we had won.
Yeah.
Right? I thought she had won $5.
I thought
so
I
did
won
she.
like $5.14.
Yeah.
But then I hit but we were kind of over it anyway, and so
Well, at that point, it was like we were hungry because we hadn't eaten anything.
Yeah.
And so I go, all right, let's go. We were gonna go to a nice dinner, and I go, let's go to this nice dinner over here, a nice steakhouse.
yeah,
It's a date night, and so
I go to cash out.
we go to cash out, and it says like $514.
yeah,
What?
and I was like,
So
I'm
I go.
sorry,
so
what?
I look at her and I go, let's get out of here, like, bro.
we are up
We're rich.
5 times what we
We're
came
rich.
in.
I was
Yeah.
like, Daddy's getting a porterhouse. Like, I'm out. We just made 200 and whatever, or 300 bucks.
300,
In,
yeah, 400.
And I go, awesome. We won some money. Your first time. So
Yeah.
she's having a grand old time. So she looks at me and she goes, well, you got to bet your last 20. And I go, okay, I'll bet my
Yeah.
last 20.
I was in it. I was.
Well, because it's fun. Once you win money, you know how I get why people
Well,
are
and-
addicted.
exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, especially when you get that little piece of paper that says $500.
Yeah. So I was like, oh,
Pretty
like,
easy.
we're rich.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I'm quitting my job. We're going to do this for a living.
Which is how they get you.
So right as we're about to walk out, this lady looks at me and she goes, one of the workers there, and she goes, that machine right there in the corner, she goes, that machine is ready to blow. She
Yeah.
goes, no. She goes, nobody has won it. And basically, the way when machines work is it's win before 10,000, or
Yeah.
it pays. It has to pay out before 10,000. It was at 9,600 and some change, or
Which
whatever
she said
it was.
it never gets above like 9,500.
Yeah, so she's like that. It's got to start paying out just per. That's how the algorithm works.
Yeah.
And so I go, okay, cool. So we sit down. I put a $20 bill in, but it's $5 a bet.
Yeah.
So you get
go
4
through
spins,
that
bro.
fast.
You get 4 spins. So spin nothing, spin nothing, spin nothing. I got 1 spin left, and I go, whatever. We won $500. This was fun.
We're already
and,
up. Yeah.
we're up a couple $100. This was cool little fun evening.
Yeah.
Last spin, I hear
Ling,
ba-da-ding, 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 and I'm like, what the crap is that? And the lady's like, oh, you got a bonus triple 795s. And I go, what does that mean? She goes, click the bonus
Button,
thing. And I
yeah.
go, okay. $1,800.
Literally in a
All
matter
right,
of seconds.
now I am. I'm quitting my job. I'm
he's
doing
like,
this
okay.
for a living. I mean, I'm making it rain on people.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I want this in ones, baby. So I hit $1,800 on just a bonus something. So she's got 500, I've got 1,800. I'm like, man, this is nuts.
Yeah.
So the lady's like, well, you should probably keep playing a little bit more, just see if it does
Just to
anything.
see
So
if
I
it
go,
does
okay, let's get down to 1,500.
Yeah.
You know, that way we're walking out with $2,000.
$2,000.
No one walks out with $2,000.
No.
So I go, okay. So we're playing. We get down to probably, I'm betting $5. We get down to probably $1,560.
Yeah, we were getting
So I've
close.
got,
yeah.
I've got barely any spins left, and I go, we're already at 1,500 and some change. Let's just cash out this 1,500. I get one more spin. Ding, 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 ding. Winner, winner, winner.
Which
And I'm
is
like,
so terrifying.
I'm like, what the crap? And then
Yeah.
the worker comes up and she, oh my God, you won! Yeah! Everybody starts freaking out. Now I've got a crowd of people around me.
Yes.
And everybody's like,
Which is so stressful, by the way.
I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So we had won the mini jackpot, which was $1,800.
Yeah.
And so the way jackpots work is, at least I don't know if it's all casino. I've never won a jackpot.
I've never
But so
been
they
to a
go,
casino.
hey, a jackpot. Anytime you hit one of the jackpots, they have to pay you out in cash in front
Yeah.
of you. You have to sign this. You know,
It's this
I asked for
whole
a tax
ordeal.
form.
Yeah.
They have to get your ID. It's all this other stuff. They had to do video because we were alternating
We were
back
we were
and
sitting
forth
up
on
next to each
spinning.
other. Yeah.
And they had to go to video to make sure that I was the
Mhm.
one that made the spin that hit the
so they can
the-
ID you.
yeah,
and-
that hit the lottery. So they got my social and it's all this crazy stuff. So I'd won $1,800. They gave me a bar of chocolate that said
Like,
jackpot winner.
Yeah.
It's this whole ordeal,
Yeah.
right? So they pay me out. They take the taxes out or whatever. So it's like $1,400.
Yeah.
I'm losing my mind.
Because I mean,
we're having the best time of our life.
literally.
At this point, I've got a crowd around me like I'm LeBron at a basketball
Because you got
game.
to think, all these people, they come every single night and lose thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah,
no
she said.
walks
She
out
said.
of there winning.
She said that the guy who sat at where we were the night before dropped $4,000 into the machine
yeah,
without
and got
winning, and he won
nothing.
600.
which is so sad but like also when you're in the moment.
No, it's on you.
No, when you're in the moment though, you kind of understand it.
No,
like,
I get
you're
why
sitting
people
there
go
and you're
broke.
like, I understand why people sit here all day.
Oh, dude, so people are around us and cheering. People are going
Yeah.
nuts. People are like, can I buy you drinks? Do you want an appetizer? I'm assuming that I'm just going to be like, cash for everybody.
Yeah.
Little do they know, I'm like, nobody's getting a dime.
No one's getting a dime of it.
Like, I ain't tipping nobody. I'm grabbing my, I don't know any of
Jesus
these
is the
peop-
only one
Yeah,
getting
I was
this
like,
money.
Jesus will get my 10%, but I don't know any of you people. Like, I'll never come back to this casino again. I'm not giving anybody a dime. So I go, all right, we're up to whatever it was. And so, long story short, right as I'm about to leave, I go, all right, let's hit one more bet. I hit $1,000, right? So
Yeah.
we ended up winning 4,200, 4,300. I
Yeah,
had them take
something,
taxes and
yeah.
stuff out. So we walked away with like $3,500
Which
in her first time
it was my
ever
first time
at a casino.
ever, and it will be my last time because even the people there were like,
Well,
"You're never going to be
she's
able to
like-
replicate this."
Yeah, she's like, we should go back tomorrow. And I said, listen, take your chips and run. I've been to many a casino. I've been to probably 15 casinos in my life. The most I've ever won was $87. And I thought I was rich. I'm like, bro, I won $87. I went in here with a 20.
Yeah.
We just walked out and it paid for our
we did the math.
trip, basically.
It literally it covered like our.
it covered the
flight,
hotels or the
our
Airbnbs, the flight, and the
cars.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it literally
Nuts.
paid for itself.
So
which
first
was
time we're
crazy.
on, so we're having just the best time of our life, you know. And we spent the rest of the trip in Florence, and it was just beautiful and had a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
but then we went to the game, and dude, I cried.
Yeah.
I did.
He did.
I did. I cried, and every man will understand that feeling.
Yeah.
The first time you walk into a Tennessee Vols game, you know,
Yeah.
and you're a lifelong fan. The first time you go see your favorite NFL team or whatever. Mainly, I would say
I would say
college.
mainly college more than
The
NFL.
first time, you know, it'd be now like granted, getting to see LeBron James as a kid was one of the like biggest moments of my life. But
Yeah.
I'll never, ever, ever forget that moment. So it's game day. We get there early. It's a great day.
Yeah.
There's player walkthrough. And like I said, the whole trip, we were just like blessed.
Yeah.
We stumbled upon stuff. Like we went to the night before, we stumbled upon a rally where the cheerleaders and the mascot were there.
Yeah,
And
we
if you
got
know
to
anything
meet
about, Puddles and the Oregon Ducks mascot, he's this
Their
is not
president.
me.
He's the president.
Well,
of
no. I'm saying it's not me. He is one of the most liked mascots or whatever it's called. He's like one of the most popular mascots in the world.
Yeah.
He ranks up there in like top 15 mascots of all time.
Yeah.
He's a big deal.
Yeah.
And so
he's
he's
huge.
very difficult to get near and to get a hold of. And like the night before, we stumbled upon this thing and got pictures with Puddles.
Yeah.
And it was there we got to. I'm not going to go into all that because we could go on for hours and hours.
Literally.
But we got to participate in the pep rally, and she got
Yeah.
to shove chocolate in my face
And ruin his brand new duck
and
shirt.
ruined my brand new duck shirt that I got, and I wasn't mad at all. But we got pictures with Puddles, and it's like then we get game day, and I'm walking down, and I go, Hannah, that's our strength coach again, and she's very much like, I don't think we're supposed to be here.
Yeah.
I'm very
gotta
much
work on that.
act like you know what you're
yeah.
doing, where you're going, and
Yeah.
you rock with confidence, which I think is why in New York people were asking me for directions.
Yeah.
Because you walk confidently and people don't question.
At the Ducks game, people were asking me for directions, and I was like, out of all people, why do you think I look like I know?
Nah, bro. The
what
best
I'm
the best
doing?
one is when I'm sitting at the duck store. There was like a little chair. We were just resting. This guy goes, "Hey man, what discounts you got on this rack right here?" And I looked at him. I go, "Oh, like 38%." And the guy's like, "Appreciate it." And I was like, "Let's leave because I don't know who that guy is, and that's definitely not clearance."
But I guess we were like decked, or as my friend Leah would say, ducked out in a duck merch.
yeah.
So,
But no, I forget where I was going. 'Cause you
the
interrupted
strength
me.
coach, you saw him.
So I see the strength coach,
Yeah.
and I'm like, bro, something's happening. And the next thing you know, the media team runs right beside us,
Yeah.
and we're right there, and we're on like where the players get out to get into the locker room for the first
Yeah.
time. And so it's
Which
like,
we didn't know that. It's just like the
no,
side
that's
of
what
a
I'm saying.
road.
We were just like blessed, dude. We stumbled upon that, and then we got to be in the player line while they're walking out to the field, which was just amazing. We got to do all this amazing stuff, and then bro, walking through those gates. I didn't get emotional. Like, it was amazing. I was mind blown, and it was overwhelming. And I'm like, I can't believe I'm here, and it was awesome. So we sat 2 rows back from Oregon's bench on the 50-yard line.
we splurged on those tickets.
I told her, I said, this will
Yeah.
be the biggest purchase of the trip.
Yeah.
So we got these amazing tickets, and we're sitting there, and it didn't hit me. Didn't hit me. And I'm like, man, this is awesome. This is so cool. And my jaw's on the floor.
On the floor, but
I was like, this is
it
awesome.
Didn't, hit him.
Until players go to walk out. You hear the motorcycle, which if you know Oregon's entrance, we have a guy on a Ducks-themed motorcycle who drives in, and the mascot sits on the back.
Yeah. And it's
Bro,
like iconic.
I'm a grown man in this sea of thousands of people, sold-out crowd of 59,000 people. The world gets quiet. All I hear is...
Yeah.
On the screen, I see a man, a mascot, and a football team. And I cried.
He did.
Multiple tears. I
Multiple
wasn't, but I was. Tears came
Yeah.
down that face
Yeah.
as this man drove in a duck on a motorcycle. These 18-year-olds came out and played football for me, and I'm just. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful moment.
I will say,
And we won, and
we did barely.
it's one of the greatest moments of my life.
Well, you're skipping the best part. What happened after we won?
So yeah, this is to wrap it up, because this has been an All Ducks podcast, which I'm sorry if you don't give a flying crap
It's okay.
about
We'll
my
be back
trip,
to our
but-
regular programming next week.
So no. After the game, we went on a last-second field goal, which is already emotional.
Yeah.
The announcer
We've never beat this team before.
We've
either,
never
by the
beat
way.
Boise State.
Like, in the
Oregon's never beat
history of
Boise State
Oregon.
in the 4 different meetings. It's just
Yeah.
a team that we clearly struggle with.
Yeah.
They go, fans, we'd like to welcome you after the game to enjoy time on the field.
Yeah.
Please allow 5 to 7 minutes for the police to escort Boise State off of the field, and then enjoy 15 minutes after the game. And we got to go on the field. We got to storm the field. I got to lay on the O. I got to, Yeah, I got to run touchdowns. I was like, there was me and 8-year-old boys running around. Actually, no, I take that back.
There were more grown men.
There was grown men
there were
running
grown
into the end
men,
zones and
yes.
scoring touchdowns and
doing touchdown dances.
And yeah, we got to see players and we got to talk to players' families. And I mean, there's so much that I could go into, but it'd be literally a 2-hour podcast.
Oh gosh, yeah.
But we got to end the dream of my life.
Yeah.
And like, no, honeymoon was cool, but like to end the dream of my life, I got to go on Oregon's field.
Yeah.
My first time ever in Eugene.
Autzen. Yeah.
My first time ever at a Ducks game. I got to end it with like literally cherry on top, and it was the most amazing, beautiful thing ever.
Yeah. It was incredible.
And then our flight was at 5 a.m. So
we didn't plan that out very well.
We didn't because it was a night game.
Yeah.
We sat in traffic. By the time we got off the field and sat in traffic, we got home at like 1:45. Yeah. Then by the time you shower because you're drenched in sweat, you pack.
All day, yeah.
And we got an hour of sleep, but you didn't care because it was just amazing.
Yeah.
And then I'll tell this story and then we'll wrap it up and get out of here soon.
I love this story. This is my favorite story.
So, we get to the airport. We're back to the Eugene airport.
Yeah.
We get into the airport, and I was like, oh, man, we got to get there early so we can return the car. By returning the car, the guy goes, throw the keys on the counter.
Literally.
And,
we're used to Nashville. We're used to being
I'm just used to having stuff be professional.
Yeah.
It's like the 17-year-old, same kid, looks at me, and he goes, throw them on the counter. I'll get it later.
Yeah.
And so we get there. So we get on the plane, and I'm tired. We've only, we're on 2 hours of sleep. We're on this small plane. So we take off, no problem. We get up in the air. We get 15 minutes into this hour and 30-minute flight. Once again, the captain turns around, or the captain gets on the intercom. He should have just been, hey, guys.
Yeah, because there were not very many of us, I feel like, on that flight.
No, there was probably 60 on the 70-person plane. So the captain gets on and he goes, we're about to encounter some really bad weather, which on a small plane amplifies everything.
So much more, yeah.
So I'm claustrophobic already. Like, let's put it this way. I have to take Xanax to get on airplanes. Yeah. I don't do well.
Well, and you were tired, and you had like a very high, like positive stress, but you had a very high stress day the day before.
Well, yeah, it was a stressful game.
So like your adrenaline,
you're tired. Yeah. You haven't eaten anything. You're kind of nauseous because you know that thing where it's like you've had nachos, hot dogs, and an hour of sleep. So you don't really feel great.
Yeah.
It's miserable. You get on the plane and they go, hey, we're going to encounter some bad weather.
Yeah.
While that happens, right as he announces that, the air conditioning goes off on this small plane.
Yeah.
So now the plane's hot, like genuinely hot.
Like sweating
like
hot.
The flight attendant is drenched in sweat and he's asking people to put the
Close
windows
the
down.
windows, yeah.
Which if you open up a window at 6 a.m. on a plane, you're a bad person. But so the flight attendant, everybody's sweating. So the air conditioning goes out, and then we hit the weather.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Oh no, please.
No, it is like you were rocking around, but then you were also, I don't know how planes work, hitting air pockets or whatever where you're dropping and then shaking and then dropping.
You were literally,
and then shaking.
This is not an exaggeration. So once again, I take Xanax to get on airplanes.
Yeah.
I'm claustrophobic. I hate flying.
Yeah.
Despise it.
You were already sick.
Compile all of this.
Yeah.
I'm on a seat. 30 minutes into this hour-and-a-half flight.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
no
that's not exaggerating. I exaggerate, I know.
No.
That's not exaggerating. Yeah. Then we were hitting air pockets.
Where you're just dropping,
just go,
which is...
You would drop 3-4 feet.
I don't mind flying. Like, I'm blessed that, like, that's never bothered me. But that was terrifying.
It was awful.
That was terrifying.
And people that were asleep are now awake. And when the flight attendants are buckling up now, right? So everybody's kind of free, like...
And of course, there's no like Wi-Fi or anything on this plane.
No.
So it's like you can't even send
There's
a
no
text
Wi-Fi.
or call.
There's no screens. It's the most jank A plane I've ever been on. It's literally rattling.
Yeah.
The air conditioning goes out, so it's 1,000 degrees. I had a mental breakdown. Listen, I am the guy who was like, dude, people that have panic attacks, you're kind of gay. Like, no one has panic attacks. It's so stupid.
That's how,
It's like nobody has panic attacks, right? I have a panic attack.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was, and I will forever, listen, I apologize. I deserve it for making fun of people with panic attacks. I never knew what it was.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there. I'm starting to sweat. I'm getting way too claustrophobic.
Yeah. Luckily, we were able to get a cup of ice before.
Well, no. This was all before, and then all that came later.
Oh.
Just let me finish.
Sorry.
You weren't paying half attention. You were just like, oh, it's fine.
That's not
You're
true.
fine.
Don't pay
poor
me
baby.
to be that.
Yeah, okay.
That's not true.
Yeah. So no, this was all before we got all. You're jumping ahead.
I'm sorry.
So it's like the perfect storm. All of a sudden, I'm sitting there. I can't breathe. Like, I can't breathe. I'm starting to freak out.
Yeah.
I'm freaking out.
And you weren't listening
And
when I was trying to help you breathe.
No, breathe, baby.
I was like,
in and out. Shut up. Shut up. I'm freaking out. I look like I'm a terrorist about to take this plane down. Like I'm up and I walk up to the to this.
When the seatbelt lights are on and everybody's buckled in.
No. Screw that.
He's
I
up
couldn't
and
sit. I
walking.
couldn't buckle up. I'm pacing aisles.
Yeah.
Bro, now I've got this plane nervous.
Yeah.
This plane's like, bro, this dude's going, what's wrong with this kid? And
Yeah.
the people in front of us, the dude cracked his window. I'm not this way. You people know me. I leave people alone.
Yeah.
I look at this dude because I'm pacing, but then I'll sit down. I look at this dude. I go, hey, dog, shut the window,
Yeah.
please. And he's like, he thinks I'm just being an a-hole. And I go, man, I'm having a panic attack.
Yeah.
Or I was like, I'm having some sort of freak out. And I'm literally saying this out loud. I go, it's 6:15. I go, I'm having a freak out. Shut the window, dog. Like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And this dude's like, oh my. So he shuts it. And then he looks at his wife and he's like,
Yeah.
he's freaking
They
out.
were, yeah.
So then I beeline it up to the front of the plane where there was two
Flight attendants.
flight attendants. So
Yeah.
I go up to this one flight attendant and I look at him and I go, bro, I'm freaking out. And he thinks because I'm up now, I'm not even putting my brain's not working.
No.
I'm up by the captain's door, freaking out to this flight
Yeah.
attendant. Like, I'm freaking out. I can't breathe. I don't know what to do. I can't be on this plane anymore. Land the plane.
Yeah.
Like, I'm screaming all this
Yeah.
genuinely, and I've never had this happen.
Yeah.
Anybody that knows me knows this is so out of character.
Mhm.
That's how I know that it was a straight up panic attack.
Yeah.
So this dude's like, and this dude's 25. This dude's
Yeah.
like,
He's like, I did not sign
So,
up for this. I don't get paid
he's like,
enough.
he's being very sweet, and I wish I could get his name because I would send him $1 million.
Yeah.
Like, he could not have been kinder.
Yeah.
Buddy, it's okay. What do you like to do? He was treating me like I was 5. He's
That's
like,
what you have
he's
to
like,
do, like, to
what do
calm
you like
down."
to what do you like to do for fun? I go podcasting. He goes, oh, who's your favorite podcaster? Nice,
Yeah.
man. What
Just
did
getting
you
your
do
brain
yesterday?
off of
Could not. I mean,
anything,
I'm
yeah.
literally, and I'm shaking. And
Yeah.
this is like once
Well,
again.
you were pale. Like you were
Not me.
shaky.
This
Yeah.
is not me. I think it was a perfect mixture of all the worst stuff. I'm
Yeah.
claustrophobic. I need it off the plane. It's
Yeah.
shaking. It's bad weather. Everybody's buckled up, including him. I'm just up like, oh, can we land the plane, please? And this dude's like, who do you like to podcast about? Like, it's a crap storm upon
Yeah.
crap storms. So eventually, we finally hit some smoother air. It's still bumpy, but we hit some
Yeah.
smoother air. The other flight attendant brought me a cold rag and put some ice on my head, and I made it through.
Yeah.
And, I'm apologizing to the people in front of us. I finally, once they said, hey, we have 20 minutes, we're about to land, I was
Yeah.
okay. I think my brain switched into there's
We're
a light at
almost
the end of the
there,
tunnel.
Yeah.
So we land and we're getting ready to land. So I'm calmer now, and I buckled up and I can breathe, and I have cold ice on my head and a cold rag, and
Yeah.
I'm talking to the couple in front of us, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I've never done this before. And this guy's just like, yeah, man, it's okay. Pissed. They're pissed. The
Oh,
whole
yeah.
plane is
They
looking
were
at me
all-
like I'm a psycho.
Yes.
And I'm like, I've never done this. And they're just like, okay, bud.
buddy. Yeah.
Like, we tried to sleep on this plane, but then perfect storm. So we land, right? And I was like, I go straight to the bathroom, nauseous. So I'm throwing up, and I'm like, okay, whew. I'm drenched in sweat. And I'm like, all right, one more flight, but it's on the big plane. We get
Yeah.
on this flight. Or we land, and I'm almost done. I'm sorry, I'm kind of rambling.
No,
but
you're good.
so we land. And as we land, I go, okay, we have an hour before this flight, so we can just,
Like,
let's
relax.
breathe.
Yeah.
as we land, now boarding Group 5 for Flight 2478 to
Somehow
Nashville.
our Nashville
Group
flight,
5, we're Group 8.
Yeah.
So I start freaking out
So
again.
I don't understand how we jumped that far in our
I don't know. But
schedule. I don't know.
It's just, So now I'm freaking out even more because I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't think I can get on this plane. I'm looking at Hannah, and I, as a grown man, by the way, I'm a grown ass man,
Yeah.
and I'm looking at my wife going, I can't get on this plane. While 6-year-olds are walking in front of me, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't think I
can't
can do
I
it.
can do it.
So I was like, okay. So we got on. By the grace of God, I was great for the first.
Because that's a longer flight. That's like a 3-hour
It's 3
flight.
hours.
Yeah.
So I was great. First 2.5 hours, or first 2 hours.
2 hours, yeah.
Perfect.
And then
Calm. I'm watching football. It's
Yeah.
a good day. We're
Yeah.
almost home. I got some shut eye. Then, an
Bing,
hour from
bing.
Nashville, ding ding. So anytime I hear that, I freak out. I'm like,
yeah.
what's going
'Cause
on?
it could just be someone calling us like a flight attendant, or it could be that the plane's
Yeah,
going
yeah,
down.
yeah. And so the captain gets on. He goes, "Hey, everybody, this is your captain speaking." Which the fact that they just do these like long, like, and
Yeah.
I'm waiting for him. He's like, "We're about an hour away from Nashville, Tennessee. Your destination." We just had a flight in front of us that's taking the same direct flight pattern as us, heading to Chicago, and we just want to let you all know that they got bumped around pretty bad. So
Yeah.
we're gonna request that everybody, including my flight attendants, get buckled up right now.
Yeah.
Everybody, please take your seats. We will have this fasten seatbelt light from now until the duration of our flight. They said it was pretty rough, so we're gonna brace for pretty rough air.
Yeah.
By the way, it's sunny, but it was
Yeah.
just it was the heat index is
Yeah,
what
that's
we
what it
found out.
was.
The heat kind of messed up the air. So for the last hour, so I'm calm, everything's great. Then I have an hour
Yeah.
of the same ish that happened on the flight from
Well,
Eugene.
and you know it had to have been worse because we were in a huge plane and it felt the exact
Oh
same.
yeah, we were in a huge plane. It was bad. We're dropping again.
Yeah.
People are audibly going, "Oh!" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh!"
On the plane. is,
Now,
like,
granted, those people
physically-
were a lot of them were me going, "Oh!" But a lot of people like we're shaking.
We're rocking. We're like drastically. Yeah.
Then the air pattern coming into Nashville, of course, on a beautiful sunny day is rough. So we're landing, we're sideways.
yeah.
Wheels hit the ground. I guess I say that story just say this. I'll never fly again the
No.
rest of my life.
We will be driving the next time we go to Oregon.
I'm buying an RV. And I will just RV to any trip I want. I'll RV to Italy. I'll figure out a way. I will never, ever, ever get on a plane without someone putting a horse tranquilizer in my butt. Horse trank me, heroin, I don't know what.
Horse trank.
I will never get on an airplane again. But we had a great trip to Oregon.
Yeah. Just the getting there and coming back was a little rough, but everything in the middle was a dream.
Yeah. So it was fun. Happy honeymoon. I love you. This was a lot of fun.
Let's do it again tomorrow. Let's go.
By the way, if you ever want to go anywhere, it's always an anniversary. It's always a honeymoon. It's always a birthday. My grandpa, it's one of my favorite stories. My grandpa was notorious for it. And I'll never forget one time he goes, he's like, guys, we're always celebrating something. Your grandpa, it's always one of your birthdays. So you never, it's like, oh, okay, that's a funny, just grandpa thing to do.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. We went into this restaurant one time and they go, we celebrating anything today? I'm not making this up. And I'm thinking he's going to say it's one of our birthdays because that's what he always did.
Yeah.
My grandpa looks at the waitress and he goes, I'm celebrating.
Oh no.
He goes, I'm celebrating 12 months free of cancer. Never had cancer. If you want to know the type of humor that my father and myself
Yeah, where you get
acquired,
it from.
it's that I'm at 9 years old dying. They're like, oh, we're so proud of you. And then he's just like, we're getting free cake, boys. I was like, I don't know if I'd use can't. Now, he died a few years later, which, you probably saw that coming. But man never went out without a hilarious joke. But he's like, I'm
And we got
celebrating
so
12,
much free stuff.
12 years free of cancer. I'm like, cancer? You couldn't just say it was my birthday?
Yeah.
Like, I guess he was tired of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, honeymoon will get you a lot of awesome things. We met some amazing people along the way. It was a beautiful trip. Go Ducks. Thank you, Autzen and Eugene and Oregon for being such a big part of my life. And I'll close with this. I know I've been talking the most. I'm sorry, but
It's okay.
people make fun of me because, oh, you're a big Psycho Oregon Ducks fan, yada, yada, yada. I said this on one of my Instagram posts, and I truly mean this. It's what Oregon represents that has been so special to me. Oregon represents family time. It represents meals. It represents laughter. It represents sadness. It represents, dad falling asleep on the couch during the game, or my nieces coming over and watching them enjoy the football game because of their dad and their Uncle Bubba doing crazy stuff and taking off their shirts. And, like this past Saturday, we watched the game with all of my family and my nieces, and Uncle Bubba, are we going to take a lap around the kitchen when we score? And Uncle Bubba, remember when you always took off your shirt and this? And it's what Oregon has represented to me and my family. And the Oregon Ducks represents a lot of amazing memories, a lot of fun moments, and it's been truly a special bond that my family has. So I know you make fun of me, rightfully so. But when I cry at the game, it's because of what Oregon has represented in my life, not just because it's a silly football game. But yeah, it was a beautiful moment. It was awesome. Yeah. Anything else?
Go Ducks.
We're back at it. Yes, we're back at it. Go Ducks. Make sure you're following us. We're really pushing. I know this week we're spending a lot of extra time getting the mics and getting everything situated, getting the cameras are already getting better content, starting to plan things out better, because we really are trying to push to make this pretty awesome podcast.
Yeah.
And we finally have the time, which is nice. We just haven't had the time. So we love you guys. Thank you for listening. If you've stayed with us this long, a lot of people probably haven't, because they're like, what the frick would I listen to an hour podcast on the Oregon Ducks? But yeah, go Ducks. We love you. Welcome back, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
That's life. That's life. That's what all the people say.